Hey, good evening, y'all. Welcome to a wonderful Thursday night, or whatever. Hopefully, everyone's week is going good. Um, hey, thanks for all your prayers and everything. Hopefully, tonight's live stream will go okay. If I have to step off camera, so be it. My teammates are gonna run it for me if I have to. But until then, we got Fishy on Tactics in here. First person in, welcome in, bro. Okay, let's go ahead and put the banner, the topic of tonight. And Mariah is the backbone of this one, for those who wondered. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good evening, TJ. Good evening, Mariah. How are y'all this evening?
Doing all right, man. I hope that maybe we can bring a little joy. I know you're a bit under the weather. I told everybody in chat, right? We're trying to
Yeah.
boost you up here a little bit, but you're looking good, so that's nothing new. So I think tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Mariah did come up with the topic, and I'll let her, when she does her intro here, she can explain kind of the idea behind it. And we're hoping to have some fun, and we're actually hoping to make this a pretty good audience participation part to this there thing.
Yes.
So we'll explain that to you here in a second. I'll let Mariah do that since this was her idea that she came up with.
Yeah, go ahead, Mariah.
Well, hey y'all. First of all, good evening. Glad to be back this Thursday. Sorry I missed last week, y'all. I was having some issues with my internet service, but they got everything repaired and I am good to go, as y'all can see. Um, but yeah, basically, the idea for this just kind of came wanting to drive a little bit more engagement with the chat, number one, and then also I wanted to think of some things that we haven't maybe haven't talked about, or even things that we have talked about but only briefly and haven't been able to touch back on. And I know a lot of us have said our own personal preferences, but we haven't really taken a stance on that side, either side of whichever the argument may be. Excuse me, in a lot of cases. So that's kind of where it came from, and TJ kind of helped hone in a little bit better and make it more of a broad range of things as opposed to just a couple of topics, which I'm excited to talk about with y'all.
Yeah, I think I think we've got a few different things like you said, right? We've talked a little bit about, or they've been part of a topic, but this is a
Mhm.
little bit more of a deep dive where we've got, I don't know, 6 or 7 topics, maybe not quite that many, where we're going to debate kind of our preferences on certain things that all of us as fish keepers likely have had to face at one time or another. And we're also hoping that when we get through our topics, that you guys are going to have done some thinking and
Mm-hmm.
have come up with some things that you want us to debate live, right? And so that'll be a little bit of an interesting thing to see how we do on kind of thinking on our feet rather than what we've got here on our written down list that we've thought about.
Right. And those of y'all in chat, y'all the audience tonight. So go ahead and throw the questions out. Or if
Yep.
you have any input, throw them out. Um, anyhow, let's go back. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to keep my bearings together tonight. I keep losing them.
I see you highlighted Steven's comment, debate
Yeah.
time. So we pick a topic and then antagonize other fish keepers who disagree.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. Yep. All right, Steven.
Exactly.
well, you may see that the three of us antagonize each other a little bit, but trust that in this case it is in good fun. We are not trying to turn this into a lot of the Facebook groups or other
Right.
areas where disagreements are you know uh,
Insults.
right? Yeah, insults and life
Yeah.
and death situations. If we antagonize each other, it's just because we like each other.
Right.
Everything but YouTube, Jeff. Don't delete your YouTube. I'm counting that into into the social media aspect. So anything else, but not here. Want to
For
look
those coming in,
at Callum's
welcome.
birthday. Happy birthday,
And
Jeff. He's in chat with us.
Jeff, who? Okay.
Jeff
Happy
Pelham?
birthday.
Jeff Boham. Hey, birthday, bro. Sweet 16, eh?
Celebrating today with us. I am quite honored, actually.
Yeah. How did we even make that point even?
Not sure, but happy to have him.
Right. Hold on.
39 and feeling fine, he says. Nice, Jeff.
Nice.
Happy 39th.
Excuse me.
You looking to go vibes through participants list before we get going, or
Oh yeah.
whatever
I got that
you're
pulled up.
okay, whatever you're interested in.
Yeah. Hey, bear with me. I'm a little slow tonight.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna actually share the participant list. How about that?
Sure. Christopher Junkin says 50 and feeling old.
Ooh, nice.
It doesn't
Okay,
rhyme
y'all.
as nice as what Jeff said, but
Right.
okay, we'll allow it.
We got 19 participants in the chat, according to fishrun.link. We got Fishy Authentics, Haiti Grady, Christopher Junkin, Fish and Things with Lando. Hey, Lando! I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Mark Sterlson, Skate Nona, Onya Oscars, Jeff Bonham, Pirate, Jeff Kane, Des Christensen, TJ, M. Myers, Stephen P., Father Aquatics, Outside Aquatics, Sweet Acres, DD, Vinoski, Silver Creek, Dixon Designs, and Small Fish 16. Welcome in, y'all.
This is very cool. I like that.
What?
How you put it up on screen there. That was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've seen you do that one before.
I did it the first time. Was it last week? TJ.
Of course. When I wasn't on last week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. That was not my intention.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You probably unboxed something without me too.
Actually, no.
Actually.
What? Yeah.
What you mean, actually?
Uh-oh. The debate starting without even talking about a topic.
Oh, boy. Oh, you did it now, Vibes. Prepare yourself, because she's coming for you.
My gloves are off.
It looks like it. Whoa.
That's so sad. It makes me so sad.
You guys. Anyway.
All right,
ahead,
and to everybody in the chat, really quick before we get started, I wanted to just specify, you don't necessarily need to argue for your personal stance. You can argue for the other side as well. You can be pro or con. It doesn't matter. It just, the reason that we're doing this is to get out every possible, in our own opinions and from our knowledge base, every possible benefit and detriment of whatever it is specifically that we're talking about. And I was trying to keep it a little bit more of a broad topic, instead of like, is this specific fish good for this specific size tank? Keep it more of a broad thing, you know what I mean? If TJ, you know what I'm trying to say. You can probably articulate it a little bit better than I can right now because my brain is not braining.
That's okay. Yeah. So I think these are fairly broad topics, like you said. They're decisions that we all as fish keepers make, throughout the time that we're keeping fish. And I don't think there's one answer, right? I think there's something that is really going to just depend on sort of our preferences on how we like to do things. And I think that's kind of
Mhm.
some of the interesting part of this, is that I feel like as many different choices as there are, we'll have a different opinion. And so I think it's less about arguing, and it's more about just enlightening people to the decisions that we would make or have made in some of these cases, and giving people the reasons why. And hopefully they will make up their own decisions on what they want to do when they're faced with kind of the same things. So I think that's kind of what we were going for, is more to drive a
Yes.
little bit of discussion and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what, y'all?
Mm.
This is a side thing. Something that came up like about 5 seconds ago. Um, I'm gonna do a giveaway, y'all. I'm not in the mood to do too much talking, but hey, giveaways.
Oh my God.
I got 2 hats.
Violence with a surprise giveaway.
Wow.
A
We
KFC.
did not know this was coming, so we are as
No.
shocked as everyone.
Now this is just for those in chat. I'm sorry, panel, because you already know what happened backstage, so you're not. But so anyway, what I'm gonna do for y'all to win one of these hats? There's only 2 winners, y'all. Only 2 winners. You got to be in the States to win, and you got to be the first one to put it into in the chat. So, some of y'all who've been following Vibes Aquatics for a long time already know it before I even say it. I want y'all to tell me, what am I drinking tonight? And the
Oh,
flavor.
you are a tricky, tricky man, and I like it.
So the flavor of what I'm drinking tonight. So, and the first 2 winners, you're here in the States. So I'll let you all think about it for a while. Hey, you know what? I'll let you think about it, and I'll come back to those answers. Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm feeling a little better, so I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good night. Okay, go ahead, Mariah. What's the first debate?
Oh, don't put me on the spot first.
All
I
right.
came up with the topic. I gotta, mm-mm.
All right. Let me go here. One topic that, again, we've talked a little bit about here and there, but is one that we all face from time to time, is cycling your aquarium. Are you on the side of fishless cycles or fish in cycles?
Ooh.
Fishless for me.
I'm all fish in. Let's do this right.
You're fish in.
Mm.
Whoa. And I guess I'm tiebreaker. I'm
Yeah.
fishless as well. And I will tell you why. So this is a method that I've used several times with what's worked for me, quite well, good success. I feel like I've had a lot more margin for error. I feel like there's less work in the process because I haven't had, through that cycling process, you don't have to necessarily do a water change unless your parameters get so out of whack that it's starting to impact the cycle in some way. And I also think that I've found where you can stock things a little quicker, because what I have, in my experience, found is by going fishless, it tends to, the amount of ammonia that usually you end up putting into the aquarium tends to be higher than what I have typically found is a normal, if you buy 6 or 7 or 10 fish, whatever it is, a school of tetras or something like that, they aren't going to put out the same level of ammonia that you've already used to build up the bacteria. And I have really found that's been quite helpful. And in this case, right, I think it's, I think back to when I was new. I didn't have things like I see Stephen rightfully so is talking about, with seeded media, fish in, fishless, but with tons of live plants, non-tissue. Yeah. So, I think there are so many ways to do this, but if I'm starting a tank kind of from brand new, maybe it's one of those situations where I had a tank sitting aside and I didn't really plan to put anything in it, but I found, something all of a sudden that I wanted to prepare to get. I don't have a tank that, or I don't have a sponge filter that's sat. I'll just go straight to a fishless cycle and use the Fritz ammonia. I mean, you can use whatever you want, but
Right.
I have a thing of the Fritz ammonia powder, and it just works really, really well for me. I think, certainly downsides are time, because I've found it can take 10 days, maybe plus or minus, to make it really work out. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, even as someone who now I've been back in the hobby for, I guess it's 4 years, I still think I would gravitate towards that approach, just because I feel like you have to be really thoughtful on the amount of bacteria you end up getting in the extra sponge filter based on the tank you put it in. And if you don't have a tank that's got a fairly good bioload, you may or may not exceed that with the new tank. And so for me, it just takes that typically, right out of the equation. So that's kind of what's worked for me.
And by the way, y'all, I did text y'all the answer. So that way we can all.
I can't actually click on it without getting out of streaming.
Right.
I see it.
Oh, hold on. I'm on private chat. How about that?
Yep, that'll work.
Does it start with a C?
It
With a
just
P?
might.
Does it start with a C?
Oh.
It might. Okay, I put it in the private chat.
All right. Let me see.
That way we can all see the chat and make sure the winners get the rightful gift. So, and we'll let y'all keep guessing for another 10 minutes. So, anyhow, okay, since I'm the fish end cycle. The reason this is a debate, y'all. The reason I'm all for it, that way you don't have to wait to have fish in the aquarium for 2 weeks. You can have it up tonight. I mean, why wait? If you can use all these chemicals to add to your tank and get your fish in tonight, let's do this.
Yeah, but you might still have to wait anyways if it dies, if it doesn't make it through the cycle, which in a lot of cases does happen.
So that means go out and buy another one and restock it.
And you're also subjecting the fish to unnecessary potential harm and stress.
But if you got a stress coat, that should remove any stress it has, right?
Yeah, that and
Yes,
a deep tissue massage,
theoretically.
and it'll be in great shape, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, yes, but with that logic, aren't you still adding more chemicals and more stuff to the water?
Yeah. But if it works, I mean, and you can have the fishing tonight, ain't that winner?
Tonight it's a winner. Tomorrow it could be a loser.
Yeah.
Come on, chat, help me out. I think I'm losing this debate.
Tomorrow morning it could be winner fish for dinner.
Think of your poor defenseless frontosas going into a tank that you fish in cycled.
That is my answer. Fit 7. That's great. Hey, thanks, small fish. Perfect. Yeah. Um. Now I wouldn't say adding a whole colony of fish
Hmm.
tonight,
Yep.
but 3 fish. You can save tomorrow the weekend. You have your friends over, family over. You gotta impress them. I mean, I just think of look at all my fish.
Yep. So you're
Hey,
going to get that feeder fish and throw them in there, right?
yeah. And,
Who cares
a
about the
5
feeder
gallon.
fish?
Hey,
But
quick
then
side note, y'all.
that plays into the whole stereotype that a lot
Yeah.
of people have regarding the fish keeping hobby, that fish are just a disposable pet.
Mm.
Oh, you mean it's not? Quick side note, y'all.
We got 2 winners, I think.
Okay. A quick side note about this fish in cycle versus no fish.
Hmm.
I'm actually against a fish in cycle, but since this is a debate, I had to pick the opposite
Of
side.
course. Of
I
course.
love it.
I'm trying to convince y'all. I'm all for it, even though me personally, I'm not. I'm actually against it.
So I
Now I have done fish in cycle before, but I prefer personally to do it fishless.
hmm
And was it successful?
It was. However, the fish that I used to cycle the tank with could have potentially lived a lot longer or lived a much better quality of life had it not been subjected to that initial stress in the beginning. Even though we have, protective things like stress coat and aquarium salt and all these other different good things that we can put into the aquarium to help not stress them out, it's still inevitable that there's still some level of potential harm
Mm-hmm.
that's unnecessary to put that fish through when we could just there's other ways to do it in 24 hours and have it ready to put your fish in the next day. So I
hmm
think
Right.
patience is definitely a virtue if you're going to do a fishless cycle, especially depending on the size of your tank as well.
And I tend to even think that even with a fish in cycle, you got to be patient, right?
Hmm.
Because you're not gonna. I mean, you can, but I think to go and get a large group of fish and to throw them in an aquarium is where you're taking the chances.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
think like vibes what you said, you're gonna get 2, 3 fish. Yep. That likely,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's a tiny, 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 like a 2.5 gallon aquarium,
Right.
right? You probably have if it was one of my 40 breeders and I put 3 fish in there, they're probably gonna be fine. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
you can watch for the signs and it shouldn't hopefully, have anything that creeps up so fast. And you can use things like we've seen here in the chat already, some of the beneficial bacteria in a bottle and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and probably be just fine. But for me, I think if you got to do that, then you might as well just do the fishless cycle.
Right.
And it makes me feel like I can control it a little bit better.
Yes. And also, now I'm back into the other side. Um, and also, if you do goof up, your fish doesn't pay the cost of it. You don't.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, since we're on this topic, quick,
Yep.
you you can use a seeded media and do an instant cycle, which is a totally different topic because
hmm
it's not really cycling the tank because basically it's an instant cycle. So yeah, it's a different format. Now that I have put new fish in the same night, no issue. Now that I'm okay with, but starting from scratch is what we're talking about. So
hmm Yeah, I mean, I think so Coro here and Steven were talking about the difference between a beginner and someone that's more experienced, right? And I think
mhm.
this is where the judgment calls in, but call comes in. But yeah, I kind of think about it back to when I started back 4 years ago, and that to me was just the most logical thing to do because it just felt like the risk was darn near minimal, right? Or almost no risk by doing that. As long as you sort of saw the tests climb and then fall, it seemed like it was a pretty easy thing to do. Now though that we've got aquariums, if you've got, again, you've got the right bioload and things like that in your other aquariums, using the cycled media is a great way to, and in some ways you are cycling the aquarium because you're going to continue with that bacteria on the cycled media that's going to populate further, and it's going to start to grow on the surfaces and the glass and all that other kind of stuff.
Right.
So, it'll kind of kickstart it, rather quickly. And so I think it's definitely something that can work, but I think you got to just make sure that you know all of the kind of ins and outs of what you're doing there, because I know I've been lulled into this sense of security of, oh, I've got a cycled sponge filter, and then the bioload of the new fish was more than what was in the existing aquarium, and it wasn't enough. So
Right.
All right, y'all. So what do you think is the winning side of this debate topic?
Ho, turn into the
Ooh.
audience.
Yeah, go ahead, audience. Let us know which is the winner. Okay.
All right, let's get a 1 for fishless, and let's get a 2 for fish in.
Yeah. Perfect, Mariah.
1 for fishless, 2 for fish in cycling.
And while you do that, I'm gonna go down to the guest list. We've had quite more guests come in while we're debating.
Sounds good.
We got Scar Aquatics, Curlworks, Bitter and Peters, Boots and Cats, Wolf, H-Rat, Bunny Viper, Batten Lightcap, GNC, Daniel Velez, Given White, and Sky the Fish Fleet. Welcome in, y'all.
What did we say was a 2?
The fish in.
Fish in looks like it's largely got it. We've got a 1.5. We've got a 3 from Alex.
I said 1 for fish in, 2 for fishless.
Oh, 2 for okay.
2 for fishless? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
I don't know. Okay, we got quite a few 2s. We got some 1s. We got a 4 from Branton. Small Fish says 5.
Okay, y'all. Those were not options.
Alex says we changed it, so
okay.
Oh, okay. Well, my bad. Well, then whatever I said, y'all got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it.
Got it. Okay.
So, wow, there's a lot of 2s in here.
You took this one here, Vibes. Even though you really weren't representing it,
right,
like, wholeheartedly, you have won the debate.
Dun dun dun.
That's 1 point for me. Wow.
And you're not even full strength tonight. Like, this is.
I know. So maybe I need to be sick more often, huh?
You're scrappier when you're sick.
And welcome in, Day 1013. By the way, the winners tonight. TJ, you said there's 2 winners?
Yeah, so take a look. Let me scroll back up. 8.
You know what I'm going to do, y'all? I'm going to hit stop in the chat. That way, so no one can add in after this and say that they won.
Go back to 8. I think it's 826.
Yes, sir. We'll do that.
In the chat, if you go back to that, I think you will see there's one person who absolutely
nailed
it, and then another person that sort of jumped on the bandwagon. So you got to decide whether you're interested in honoring that one, or
you mean the one that agreed with it?
Yep.
Yeah. I can agree with you on that, TJ.
Yeah.
This is lavender tea, and like I said, for those that have been watching Vibes Quiet for a long time, should already know. And Rachel has been here for a long time.
And do you remember when we had dinner at that little place at the Clash? It was me, you, and Rachel sitting together.
Yeah.
And you asked that question, and she nailed the answer then too.
True. She did.
Yep.
And here we got Fathom Aquatics.
Yep.
So yeah, Rachel and Alex, you might send me your addresses to my email, and I can get these hot out to y'all. Which Alex, you've been bugging me about it. So since you won, you deserve it fair and square. So awesome. Yeah.
And Mariah's going to hand deliver that one to Alex, I think.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they're like.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna just find out the tracking number for the delivery, and then I'm gonna pull up and match it.
Yep.
Oh, that way.
I'll leave a little note on your windshield, Alex.
Nice.
About this live tea. Yeah, back when I started live streaming, let's go back in history a little bit, y'all. Back when I started, a lot of my live stream was in the winter time, so I had a couple of live teams hunting. That was a normal occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been the past 2 years probably that I've kind of backed away from it. I still enjoy it, but it's been so warm lately that tea it's just too much. So, anyways, I thought some of y'all would enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good idea. Skipper joined us. He said he thinks he missed something. Yeah, so Skip, we're debating various topics tonight related to decisions that we as fish keepers will have to make. And then we're asking chat to kind of decide which side had the better argument. And we lost Mariah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw that. Hey, Rachel, you mind sending me your address again? I probably got it somewhere, but don't take until I'm trying to find it on my emails. And put in hashtag debate in the email. Make it a little easier to pop it up for me. If you don't mind, Rachel. I appreciate that.
She said sure thing.
Awesome.
Are you ready for another one, sir?
I am. Let's see if Mariah's backstage. She is. Hold on, y'all.
Very good.
Okay, let's bring up the backbone of the operation.
She's back.
Yeah!
She is back.
Uh-oh. What did I miss?
Nothing. My phone died. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay.
Who won? What was the quick answer?
Well,
you mean for the hats?
No. I don't know. Was it that or was it
The small fish you might have. What was it? The giveaway or was it the debate?
To answer both questions, the debate, I guess, fish in cycle 1, and I believe Alex and Rachel won the question prize.
And it was lavender tea, by the way, y'all.
Yes.
And we caught Skip up on what we were talking about. He says fishless at least for 24 hours with a seasoned sponge filter is what I do.
Thanks, Skipper. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Next one.
Yeah,
and I have to be honest with this one. I went all over the map. So I kind of broke the rules a little bit.
We like rule breaking.
I know. So I figured this would be a very well sponsored activity. So this debate is aqua soil versus inert substrate versus bare bottom tank. And this is where I went a little bit off script because for me, there is not one answer. It completely depends on the type of tank that I'm setting up.
Yes.
And I will also say that uh, my answer is also different than what I currently have going on in practice, at least in one case.
Okay.
So I totally went off script here. So I said, if it's a planted tank, I'm going aqua soil.
Of course.
Like if it's a true, like a planted lot, right? Like, it's got, full of plants and fish and all that other kind of stuff. I'm going aqua soil. And this is where I am totally not practicing what I'm preaching right now, because I have a planted community aquarium that does not have aqua soil. It has inert gravel in it. But now, knowing what I know, almost 4 years since setting it up, that would be my choice in that scenario. And it's really because I feel like there's less to upkeep because you don't have to continue to fertilize into the substrate. I have plants that are they would like to pull nutrients from the substrate as opposed to the water column. I think they'll do both, right? But that takes that out of the equation, so you don't have to mess around with the root tabs, because let's be honest, you get there doing a water change and you got to remember to do it, and sometimes that little bottle of the caps is in the stand, and you forget all about it, and then you fill it back up with water. And I'm not going up to my armpit to put a root tab in there, right? Just not doing it.
No.
It's less disturbing that you need to do to the substrate. I find whenever I do the root tabs, I always kick up a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't do any harm. But again, it's another variable. And I also found one that could potentially be a benefit, I suppose. And I'd love Steven or anybody else who's one of our plant and substrate expert folks around. I feel like when I think about the fishless cycle that I talked about, the ammonia that can be leached from some of those substrates can help kick that cycle off. So if I was to do it again, I think that's what I would go with when it comes to a planted aquarium.
So for me, this one is difficult because, like you said, it's very much dependent upon the type of tank that's being set up.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would definitely not ever choose bare bottom.
Okay.
I don't like the way it looks.
Fair.
And I don't like the idea of fish just, I mean, they are already in a glass box, but that just even more so to them,
Mm-hmm.
I would assume, makes it a glass box.
Yep.
And if I were to choose, it's crazy because I'm not really, this one I can't really debate with, but I would honestly choose both the aqua soil and the inert sand or gravel,
Like
and have
mixed
them
in the same
layered.
aquarium.
Yes, have them
Yeah.
layered.
Mm-hmm.
The aqua soil would be the bottom layer, and then whatever type of inert sand or gravel or whatever substance I'm using would be on top as, the actual substrate, the bottom layer of the tank, and
Mm-hmm.
what they would be used to in a more natural environment.
Sure. Yeah. I think that makes sense. I think Steven even commented what we didn't throw in there, a dirted tank. And no, I didn't. I've never tried it, right? And frankly, I'm a little sheepish to do it, just because I've heard mixed review. I mean, I think there's probably some really good ways to do it, and I know people personally who certainly do it. but for me, it just wasn't one that I usually would think to do. Not that it doesn't work, but it's just not one that I've ever even contemplated. Now, I will say bare bottom I use in one case, and that is my breeding setups for my egg scatterers. And that is because I want to get them comfortable with depositing eggs where I want to be able to collect them. And
That's
so
understandable.
right, so I no substrate, and then I put in a Tupperware container with river rocks in it and some plants, because a lot of the times, and in the case of my Danaan white clouds, they are attracted to the plants, right? And
Yeah.
that's where they'll go and they'll lay their eggs. And so I've got it to a point where, I can put one of those in the aquarium, and within 2 days I've got eggs in the bottom of the little Tupperware. So for me,
Mhm.
that is just the setup, because I don't want to give them any other type of a location where they could think about, oh, that looks like kind of this other thing, so I'm just going to go off in the corner and start doing this, and then I never collect anything. So
Well, yeah, I mean that absolutely makes sense, especially for a breeder setup. I mean,
mhm.
even for just something as simple as doing water changes is much simpler with bare bottom with all those little babies swimming around,
Yep.
and it's much easier to see exactly what's going on
Yeah.
with everybody in the tank.
Yep.
So I definitely get that. But as far as a for display purposes, like to
Yep.
have a tank actually set up in the home, I would never do bare bottom.
Yep.
If it were me, it would be aqua soil and sand or gravel on top, depending on the type of fish I'm putting in.
Yep. So yeah, I agree with you. For that type of setup, I wouldn't go typically bare bottom either. I like having a substrate. It's purely out of, I don't know if it's necessity, but it's purely out of ease of use that I do the bare bottom. And then I went a step further, and I said, in my African cichlid tanks, I use the cichlid sand. And that is purely because it helps me make sure that the water stays higher pH, harder, right? And it keeps it buffered that way where it's consistent. And so that's what I mean is I broke it up into 3 different areas, and I defend kind of all of them for different things. So
Mhm.
I kind of screwed up the debate on this one a little bit.
It's all good. I use crushed aragonite in my tank behind me,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
there's South Americans and Africans mixed in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have used it when I was young. I did that, and it just worked out really, really well. And in both of my African cichlid tanks, I just use that. So, and they like it because they're both like sand sifters. They'll go and
Mm-hmm.
they'll grab sand, and they'll kind of pick it up in their mouth, and they'll move it, or they'll look for little bits of stuff that they can eat off of it, and
Oh yeah.
so it works well for them.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back, buddy. You
Yeah,
have
Hey
any
there.
thoughts on this?
yeah, I do here in a bit. My neighbor just just stopped in. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So when you're live and your neighbor stops in, go answer
Mhm.
the door,
Yeah.
please.
Words to live by, right there.
Yeah.
But if your
Okay.
mama calls, answer the phone.
Amen. Hey,
Hmm.
if your mama or your papa calls you and you're on a live stream,
Mhm.
answer the phone. Don't worry about the live stream. Okay. Y'all have good debate ready. Um, I'm all for the sand substrate, but now it depends on like TJ mentioned the African cichlids. The aragonite crushed core will help buffer the water perimeters.
Mm-hmm.
A buffer, basically keep it in check. That way, it doesn't fluctuate a lot.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now, if you keep it African cichlids ready, there's a good chance your water's probably really hard. So,
Mhm.
do you really need it? Probably not a regular night. But if you don't have hard water, yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Go with the crushed coral route. But for ease, I'm all for the bare bottom tank. You see,
Huh.
hey, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
My last tank setup, the last one I've done as of now,
Mm-hmm.
this one right here,
Yep.
the Molly setup, the Molly tank, that is bare bottom.
That one is bare bottom. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
So
fact, when I
go
set
ahead.
up the discus tank, that will not be bare bottom.
What?
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
It's going to be very, very, lots of substrate, lots of plants, lots of wood, lots of rocks.
You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I'd say bare bottom because with the substrate, you have to worry about the gas in the substrate can release and kill all your fish in the tank.
Mm.
It gets dirty, it gets nasty. Um, your fish can dig into the substrate and hide, and something gets stuck, and you don't even realize it until all of a sudden you have a ammonia spike. Bare bottom
Mm-hmm.
tank, that won't happen. They can't bury themselves because if they're out, you'll see them.
True.
And if there's waste on the bottom of the tank, you'll see it. Easy to clean up. Take your gravel vac, suck it right up. Simple.
It's true. It does work like that. Small
and-
Fish 16 says, "Can you do sand and gravel?" And M
Yes.
Myers 1987 says, "Yes." And yeah, absolutely right. And I
Yes.
think it can look very natural that way.
Yes.
Do you think, let me ask you guys this.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think doing substrate, regardless of the type of substrate, versus the bare bottom, would be more beneficial in having more of a surface area within the tank other than just the glass for bacteria to grow to be able to break down the waste that's inside the tank?
I would tend to think it depends on the type of gravel, right? And stuff that you're using. But if you think about it, like we put media in a filter,
Hmm.
right? Versus just leaving the filter box itself.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Right.
it would make me think, yeah, right. It would make me think that all the little kind of, even at a very, very small like level that's hard to see with the human eye,
Right.
you would have little micro surfaces for bacteria to kind of hang to.
Yeah, you would definitely increase the amount of surface area, even if
Yeah.
it's slightly, by having gravel or sand or whatever in there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree 100%. You would be adding more stuff for to grow, but you're not adding more beneficial bacteria. Your tank has only the amount of beneficial bacteria as it needs. So adding more surface area will not you will not build up more beneficial bacteria.
Nope. It'll just give it more
That's
places to
true
go.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Which in a way, that way if you do a big change on the tank, it won't have a lot of effect on it because the bacteria spread through the whole tank.
Hmm.
That's one con. I know I'm putting it for the bare bottom tank. I know, but hey, that's one con for the bare bottom.
Mhm.
If you go and clean all the glass and you filter it, it's going to affect the system. But if you had substrate that's holding all that beneficial bacteria, and you clean the
Mhm.
filter, it's not going to affect the system. You know what I'm saying? As big, yeah. So.
Mhm.
Hey, welcome in, and that's skipping. How you doing? But you mentioned about inert versus
Aqua soil. Mhm.
Is that another debate, or can we go ahead and do it?
That was so I had said the debate was aqua soil versus inert versus bare bottom. So it was one debate for all three.
Oh wow!
Mhm.
But but that is where I went totally off script because I use kind of two of them, and if I was today to set up another one, I would use the third. I would use aqua soil, which currently I'm not using.
Right.
So it was kind of a three-way debate. That's why I told Mariah that I had sort of broken all the rules on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
definitely.
that's why I was also in agreement there because I currently only use one of them, but I was arguing for use of two of them and then completely against the last one.
True. Yep. And these are all things that work, right? It's kind of personal
Mhm.
preference type stuff, and things that I think, again, they're decisions that we've had to make, and there's reasons behind what we've chosen. But again, I think I've learned a little bit more about it now, and would make a different choice if I were to do it over when it comes to like a really planted, like a community tank or something.
Also, Vibes, you pointed out that with a bare bottom tank, you can clearly see any waste in the tank. Well, yeah, of course. It's going to make the tank look dirty constantly because you
But
can always
Not wrong.
see it. With
yeah.
substrate, I mean, yes, there's poop in the tank, there's waste in the tank, but it's not just like right there in your face, like a bunch of crumbs on the floor in your kitchen and you're trying to walk around barefoot,
Mm-hmm.
It's very different. And it just visually looks so much better.
Okay. So, a quick thought. How often do you sweep the kitchen?
Every
Every
day.
day? Okay. So, do you maintain the tank every day? So, it doesn't bother you.
I sweep my kitchen every day because I have OCD.
I'm trying to win this debate, y'all.
Okay.
If you haven't
Fish
noticed.
can't sweep their kitchen.
No.
And do you want to be doing water changes every single day, Vibes, with as many tanks as you have? I think not.
Mm-mm. No, I know that is true.
I'm thinking losing this, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna give up on this one.
Steven
I
said he
know.
only did bare bottom when he was growing out 150 plecos in a 29 and cleaning several times a week. I believe there's a video on his channel about that, which is in usual fashion, educational, hilarious,
Yes.
and has great filming as well. So if you have not seen that, go and look there. When it's related to I think I don't know the title. Maybe one of the mods will find it, but it's about when he was breeding plecos quite actively and the process he went through to get there.
Right. Good point, Stephen White.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It depends on how many tanks you're keeping. You can determine if you're holding tank for sales or display tank. That's so true. Now since you mentioned that, Stephen White, I'm all for the substrate. If it's a display tank, I'm all for substrate, 100%.
Same. I was just about to say, even when in any retail setting I've been in, when setting up the tanks, the only tank that I did not put substrate in was a ghost shrimp tank.
Why is that?
Because they were sold as feeder shrimp and they were constantly in and out of the aquarium. And that one was there. To be fair, the distributor that we were using for them, they did die constantly. So it was very much easier to keep that specific tank cleaner, of course, in that situation. But every other tank, they absolutely had substrate and were planted.
So thank you for that, Stephen White. That was awesome. Good. Are we done with this debate, or can we want to dig a little more?
Let's see. I just wanted to acknowledge Curtis said bare bottom or not. The waste is still there. Substrate just covers it up.
Yep.
He's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, M. Myers says it'll settle and be broken down by beneficial bacteria by time. In a bare bottom, they meticulously clean it daily to make sure things don't go poorly. I'll say
Yeah.
it because we're a family-friendly channel
Yep.
here, right? Right,
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Gotcha.
will. To a certain extent, yes, they will keep it clean, and yes, it will break down. But y'all get what I mean, though.
Oh yeah,
It looks like a bunch of crumbs on the floor.
it does. Unless you're sitting there every day cleaning it out, it's going to look a little rough. Yep.
Anybody got time for that?
Yep.
Good
Yeah,
question.
I would consider a tile bottom bare bottom.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it'll function the same way.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do to make a bare bottom. You can even paint the underside of the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Paint it black, gray. Even if you're an artist, put rocks down there. Paint rocks down there, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or a wallpaper down there underneath of it. There's a whole list of things you can do. Make it look like it's more
I
than
saw someone use a pretty cool design with a glowfish tank, and they used the glow in the dark paint for it, and it looked really, really cool when they turned the light on.
Nice. Okay, I think we got this debate pretty good. Let's hear from the chat, from the audience. One for bare bottom, and two for the substrate. And let's see who wins.
And just want to welcome in my Fish Tanks Aquatics, John. Thanks for joining us.
And New Local Austin, I saw that. Welcome in.
Oh yeah, I saw Mike's here.
All right. And while that's coming in, I do want to shout out to all the moderators in the chat. Sometimes I don't feel like I give y'all enough praise, enough thank you for keeping the chat rolling smoothly, dropping links for us. I mean, it makes the whole live stream run smoothly. So I appreciate that, y'all. And don't feel like just because I put you as a moderator does not mean I have you there just for the moderator. Hey, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. There, I said it. So yeah, I said one for bed bottom and two for substrate. So let's see who's winning.
Oh, y'all, vibes getting a little spicy tonight.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, when he's a bit under the weather, it seems like things are a different story around here in the world of Vibes Aquatics.
I don't know how that happens.
We are gonna have to hold him back tonight, Mariah. He may be getting a bit PG-13 on us before long.
Them jets are all fired up, huh?
You got DD number 2.
Mm-hmm. We got Rachel 2, Bunny's 2, Dennis Christensen's a 2, John's a 2, Shady Grady's a 2.
I think
sounds like substrate winning.
So I guess, hey yo, I need to improve my debate talent. I need to get better at it. I need to become convincing, even though I'm not convinced. How about that?
You'll get there. We'll
well, you already got one win.
You did.
Yeah. Well,
so we're like tied now.
Well, yeah,
oh,
okay.
Right.
You just got a super sticker from the one and only lovely Foxy.
Hey.
Foxy.
Thanks, Foxy.
I cannot see what it is, but
I'm looking at it. It's a Foxy.
It's a fox? Nice.
You trying to copy me, Foxy? Whenever I pop into the live stream, I drop in a super chat or sticker. It's usually the vibes one. Foxy one. That's pretty cool. You okay, man?
I don't know what. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen what she's laughing at here.
Oh.
Oh, are you laughing at Dee Dee's comment?
No, he's right there.
Huh?
No, vibes.
Oh.
It was that little thing that Vibes did.
Oh, I see. I see. Mhm.
Sorry, y'all.
You man, rare form.
It's good. It's too good to pass.
Uh-huh.
Vibes. I, right on Foxy. That was cool. I didn't even realize those was Foxy available on there. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Now, what's really cool, y'all, if we could customize, can we? I don't even know. The super stickers. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
don't think so.
thanks again, Foxy. That was special. And by the way,
Do
since
you
she
guys
did do that,
know?
she deserves a shout out. For those that don't know, Foxy Fishies go live before Vibes Aquatics every Thursday night. They go live at 6 p.m. Central Time. And hey, go there and start watching them. They are phenomenal. They're hilarious. They do a lot of good stuff. So go ahead and watch them.
True.
Hey, moderators, you mind dropping the link for Foxy Fishies channel? That way everybody can make sure that they are following them. Okay,
Mm.
great time. Hello, everyone again. Hey,
Yep.
Skipper.
Welcome back, Skip.
Go ahead, Mariah. What you gonna say? She
I
don't
was
know.
just gonna ask. Do we know if Ed is going on tonight?
I believe yes.
I didn't get the
Already?
notification for it yet, so I was curious.
We just
Uh,
started. We're talking about.
Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yep. Scheduled for 9:30 as usual.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Are
Next
we ready
topic.
for another one?
That's debate.
What's that?
Let's get it.
African cichlids versus Central and South Americans.
Oh, we're going right for the
Yeah.
serious topic
Yeah.
here. The hotly debated South
So,
or Central American, right?
yeah.
Depending on your
Right.
preferences, or
Versus Africans. Yeah.
African
Yeah.
cichlids. Just listen to the words just come out of your mouth, and that should African cichlids. Just we don't
Hey,
even
welcome
need
back
to,
here, Lottie.
we don't even need to say anything else.
So in other words, what you're saying, the African cichlids are ready to win.
Ready to win. Do you know why?
Hold on. That call. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, Mariah. Do you know why African cichlids are going to win this one?
I do. I do know why.
You do know why.
They are gonna win this one.
They have to. I mean, when you think about the sheer diversity of African cichlids, and this is one of my pet peeves, right?
That was exactly the first thing that came to my mind was the diversity.
Because when we say African cichlids, we are not talking about Mbuna.
Mm-hmm.
We are not talking about fish that just come from Lake Malawi.
Malawi. Yep.
We are talking about fish that do come from the Rift Lakes. We are talking about fish that come from rivers in places like
Mm-hmm.
the Congo and all over, kind of northern and more eastern parts of Africa.
Oh yeah,
We've
absolutely.
got shell dwellers. We've got rock dwellers. We've got cave dwellers. We've got high pH. We've got low
Low
pH.
pH.
We've got lakes and rivers. We've got carnivores. We've got herbivores. And we've even got those that eat stuff called offwalks, which is all the algae and the biofilms and stuff that are on the rocks. And then
Not
when you
to
start to,
mention the range of colors, shapes,
oh,
and size. I mean, you got from 2 inches all the way up to 24 inches.
unbelievable, right? The sheer array. And then you've got some really interesting stuff like you've got the goby cichlids, right? That come out of
Mhm.
the species Eretmodus, right? So they're like a cichlid, but they look like a goby. They've got that body shape. They kind of do that hovering type of thing. And then have you guys ever heard of soda cichlids?
No.
Mm-mm.
Let me tell you about soda cichlids that come from a lake in Tanzania called Lake Natron. I think I'm saying that right. I got this information from Seriously Fish. Lake Natron has a pH ranges from 8 to 10.
Ooh.
Temperature range that Seriously Fish claims for these guys is 80
Extreme.
to 100.
Mm-hmm.
So they're called the soda cichlids because that water is extremely on the high end of the alkaline pH. And that high temperature, and how could you
It's
not
darn
just
near
love?
carbonated.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Ah,
You'd expect the water to basically bubble.
cool.
The soda, right? It doesn't,
Wow.
but you'd expect that it might. How could you argue anything other than the fact that Africans have to win this? I can't come up with anything else.
I'm
What
all
do you?
for South
What do you?
American and Central Cichlid, Joe. All for it. The colors and the variety you can have, and you can add community fish to them if you wanted to, and it won't mess the system up. With Africans, you have peacocks, you have embonas. You throw a tetra in there or a guppy in there. What's going to happen? It's going to be dinner time. Those discus, they can put mollies in there, tetras in there, guppies in there, and they'd be happy together. No issues whatsoever. You go with commences. You can throw some other fish in there. No issue. You can have a nice community tank set up. With Africans, you can't do that, y'all. Africans is the worst for cichlids in the community, y'all. You want me to stop there, or shall keep going?
You could keep right on going. I'm bracing myself here.
I would argue to your point, though, about the variety of color that with only one single type of African cichlid, you can have way more range of color and vibrancy of that color with just peacocks, not even
Ooh.
including all of the other colorful species that there are throughout the rest of the African cichlids.
So we can go that route. So in that route, you can go with discus. You have the same color patterns in discus as you do with peacocks.
Ah, but you would only get those color patterns and the elaborate stuff that you do get from breeding, not in the wild.
Isn't that
Ooh.
true?
Ooh.
And let me also introduce you to a lovely place called Lake Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a species 44 or a tomato hap?
Those tomato haps, I have seen those. That thing was crazy looking.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Or the oh god, what's that one called? It's something some kind of something beak, some kind of beak. I forget what it's called. I think it's one of the I think it's also from Victoria. It's one of the it's a really really big one. It's got a dang, I can't think of it.
We gotta make this debate real, y'all.
Oh, when you use the little grabber, I was like, what's he grabbing, a fish gonna show us?
Yeah, I got the fish, y'all.
You did. You did. Thank God it wasn't a live one, but
Look at that. There's
Could
an
you
advantage.
imagine
oh my God, right? He just picks up a fish and just shows it to us on the ground. A little
flopping around?
right. He's like, look at this guy.
And, hey, put me down.
Right? But see, with this, there again, you have those colors, y'all.
But in fairness, I don't know. I think that I think Sam Scales there, he did a beautiful drawing and he used some colored pencils. I think he's being kind to the episode.
You see that blue dragon blood right there?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talk about color.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where's my lemon Jake at? I don't know if y'all can see him or not.
I
But
see him back there. Yep. I see a little blue on there. I see a little bit of yellow.
and that's with a crappy camera
Yep.
and bad lighting. Okay.
Yep.
No color pencils needed. Pretty.
Ooh.
Alishon says, as I love that he always does. He has had experience with soda cichlids. He's
Oh,
kept
cool.
them in the mid-7s pH, so he's been able to keep them at a lower pH and temp in the low 80s. So kind of on the much lower ends of the ranges that I found on Seriously Fish. But yeah, that's cool. I just think they're the neatest little fish.
Stephen White is a good point. Keeping all three, I would say there's probably more variety in Africans, but it's hard to beat the personality traits of Central and South Americans.
Mm.
Exactly, 100%.
Yep.
They're like puppies. The beautiful Oscars. I mean, can you the beautiful color? Hey, just ask June. She has proof 100%. How
South and Central Americans are like Yorkies and Chihuahuas and you know, Shih Tzus, whereas African cichlids are more like pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, if you will.
Yeah, or like majestic dogs, like
Yeah,
I
like
don't
a
know,
golden retriever.
like a golden retriever with that beautiful flowing hair. They just happen to have scales and fins and yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
And will also bite the crap out of you.
Can. They
Yeah.
can. But that's just because their level of intelligence is such that
Whoa!
right that they're trying to assert their dominance in that situation. So it's a warning to you not to mess with them.
Also, I believe African cichlids are an older species.
They do call it the old world, Mariah. That's an excellent point that you bring out.
They mentioned that. Hey, we live in 2024, y'all. We got a change. This is a new environment, new world. We can't stay in the history. We gotta keep up with the times, y'all. Otherwise, you're gonna get trampled over. So you gotta go with the new cichlids automatically.
But as my dear friend Mariah says every single week, may God treat you as you treat elders.
Elders, that's right.
Age is just a number.
Okay, let's not go there. They put R. Kelly in jail for a reason.
Oh my.
So you think ready to see who's gonna win this? The Africans
Let's
versus
do it.
Central Americans. The Africans, number one. Central
You're
Americans.
right. That's right. Number one.
Did you? Whoa! Wow. Hey, I'm trying to give you the best scenario. You know, I mean, that'd be nice. Give you number one. You know.
Oh, Branton, what? Curtis? What is going on here?
I might just win at this.
Listen, y'all, just to make the suspense a little bit higher, I can't actually see the chat. I have not been able to see the chat. Unfortunately, my screen doesn't allow me to the way I have my phone set up. So yeah, I am in very much suspense right now.
Well, I think we're in trouble.
It sounds like it.
We're like
the way Vibes is sitting there laughing and cackling and turning red. It sounds like we've already lost.
Mariah, unless we get some serious votes here, we are like we're gonna lose. Like he shut us out.
Okay, and Mariah, her. Bratton number 2, Skull number 2.
All right, y'all. If y'all give me a 1 in the chat, I will get inside my fish tank.
Whoa.
Wow, she's desperate, y'all.
Yeah, calm down there. We don't know.
Local Austin number 2.
Give me a 1. I will get inside the tank on live.
Stephen P number 2.
We haven't thought that out. The spinach here, Mariah. Skip gives us a 1. Oh.
I
Oh,
will
Brandon
spinny
gave us a one.
chair.
Whoa, Skip gave us a whole bunch of ones.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yay!
Mm.
Let me get up on the spinny chair and go ahead and get the
Oh,
lid off.
oh God.
Kidding. I was
See,
lying.
I know
You
you were.
shouldn't have believed me.
No.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
This is the internet. Come on, man.
We're supposed to be the source of truth.
all right, now get in the tank. Okay, y'all.
Oh, Nancy says if two of us value looks over personality, we won't judge. What? I don't know.
Oh,
I think
wow. I like
I think
this.
I can't
Hey,
hear
Big
you
Steve.
over the sound of my Maltese redoing their tank for the 8,000th time this week.
Oh, right. They're little landscapers. Come on now.
Yeah.
Rigged.
Oh.
Okay. By the
I
way, y'all.
agree, Mark. This is rigged.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm actually 100% for Akron cichlids, y'all. Those are wonders.
Do you
And of
have?
course, y'all already know I'm down with both. I have both, of
I was gonna
course.
say
Yeah,
right in
I
that
do
tank
too.
right there, you got both. I
Yeah.
have. I technically I do have both as well.
Yeah.
We
But, I mean,
just
y'all
love
already know.
cichlids, y'all.
I
We
just
just
like.
love
Yeah.
flipping
I just
cichlids.
have been a cichlid fan since I was a kid.
Yeah. So, well, that was fun, y'all. I still need to get improve my talent of debate though.
Hey, baby. Hey,
Yeah.
baby.
That was a different kind of stream for us tonight, but lots of
I
fun.
actually liked it.
I did. I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
I had a hard time
It,
arguing with you guys, but you know,
yeah.
we
Uh,
faked
it,
it.
it made me have to think outside the box, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Oh, God.
it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, God.
Would agree.
Oh, God. No.
Did she just jump into the tank?
Mariah has quite literally just left the chat.
I think she might jump into the tank, y'all.
I'm here. Hold on.
Okay.
Is it wet?
I think it fell forward.
Oh,
She fell
for-
backwards.
Oh, okay.
The dogs knocked y'all onto the floor.
Yep.
Hold on. Okay.
That's all right. We're good. We're good.
It's all good.
Everybody's safe. Nobody was hurt.
Right. Nobody got wet.
Just my dignity.
Yeah. Well, you know, no one will remember this. It's not like anybody saw that or
Right.
or that it'll be immortalized on the channel for forever.
It's gonna be on YouTube forever.
It is forever, and I'm sure somebody in here has already clipped it and is planning to make a
Man.
6 short out of it.
Well, if they did clip it, so please send it to me on Instagram. Okay, all right.
Dee Dee says now she's not the only one falling out of her chair anymore. I remember when that happened.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, Noisy, welcome in.
Okay.
Hey, Noisy, you're late. No?
Yeah, and it is 9:31, gang.
And is Ed live?
Allow me to check.
It's right on Instagram.
It is not yet live. It says 9:31, so he was being very exact with his timing tonight. So I would assume
Wow.
it's any time now.
All right. But yeah. I can definitely see it. He just went live, y'all. Yeah, it did. So, but
Okay.
I can definitely see this be more in the future. I actually enjoyed this. Debating different topics. That was awesome. All right, bringing it up.
Thank you.
So, hey, but before we head out, y'all, it is live. Hashtag, what should it be tonight? Debate.
Sure.
And while I put that in the chat, TJ, what you guys say before we head out?
Yep. Just thanks for everybody in the chat, like always, joining us. Had a really good time. Hopefully you guys did too. Actually, would be great to get some feedback on it. So if after the stream you want to drop a comment here and just let us know, did you like this format or not? We do this for two reasons. Number one is for you guys. Number two is for us, right? and having fun. And so, we want to make sure that you guys enjoy it as much as we do. And to you guys, as always, thanks so much for, I can't believe we're coming up to a 1 year mark of doing this all together here in October. I appreciate the heck out of it. I really like the Thursday nights with you guys. So thanks so much.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Mariah?
Same as always, y'all. Thanks for coming and watching us. We appreciate it. I'm glad to be back this week. I will definitely be back again next week. And same thing as always, y'all. Like I said, we just really appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all having me on, dealing with my antics and my chaos. And as always, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Treat other people how you want to be treated. And may God treat you how you treat animals and elders.
And there's a link, y'all, to Ed's stream.
Great. Thanks, Curtis.
Thanks, Curtis. You're awesome. Thanks again to Mariah and TJ for putting up with my crazy debates, trying to convince everyone I don't even what I'm actually not into at all, which is interesting. So it made me think differently tonight. So that's kind of cool. So thanks to Mariah for that. Thanks to TJ coming up and joining us. Without y'all, this would not be the same. But until later, make sure you do your water changes. Or not. Have a good night, y'all. Peace out.
Bye, gang.
Bye, y'all.
Hashtag debate or not.